Hello people! In this video I'm going to be talking about some of my Bendy ink machine theories. These are my own thoughts and ideas of course, but if some of you out there already thought of these, then I haven't heard of them, so don't blame me. And if you for some reason don't know, so is Bendy in the Dark Revival right around the corner, and I would like to share these theories before that revival. So let's theorize. So we don't know the relation between Henry and Audrey right now, if there even is one, but if we assume that she's the one using the glowing ink, since the veins on her hand is glowing in the same color, and because she has the same spiral looking mark on her hand like those who has been drawn on the wall in chapter 5, then maybe she's the one communicating with Henry through the writings in his cell. Like this one for instance. Audrey don't want Henry to walk through the door, so she wrote to him not to do that, and in response he wrote, "What door?" The door they are referring to is the door Henry walks through in chapter 5. And if this is true, then we have to explain how Henry also can write on the walls. Maybe he has the same powers as Audrey, but he's much weaker, because we haven't ever seen him using the powers in the game, like we can see Audrey do in the Bendy in the Dark Revival gameplay trailer. Nor have we ever seen him writing with the glowing ink. And since we don't know how Henry looks, we can't therefore tell if he's got the same look as Audrey or not. So maybe they are allies, or maybe they are enemies, since she seems to have changed her mind about wanting Henry to not walk through the door, by crossing out "don't", so the text says "go through the door" instead. So I don't want to further discuss this theory any longer, cause the editing is killing me. But if you believe in this theory, then keep it alive and keep speculate about it in the comments or something. Now let's move on to the next theory. Have you thought of the first thing Henry says after he encounters the ink machine for the first time? He says,
"Alright, how do I get this to work?"
weird. It's like he knows about it, and his first instinct is to start it. We know that he has experienced this scene hundreds of times before, so he should with no doubt know about all the things that's ahead of him. But he still reacts the exact same way every time, like when he fell through the floor. Excuse me, what did he think would happen if he ran over there? Did he seriously think it would be any different after 414 times? And that he wouldn't fall this time? Or maybe when he met Brute Boris?
Boris! No, what has she done to you?
What have she done to him? What have she done to him? Did he seriously not remember all the times he failed rescuing him and therefore had to face him like that? This leads me to think that he maybe got memory wiped during some portion of the game, or maybe he just got Alzheimer's. But the most logical moment must have been during the white screen in chapter 5, right after Henry defeats Bendy. And that makes me think that a certain someone have told him how and maybe why he should start the ink machine after he got memory wiped. And then he ended up here, thinking he just arrived at Joey, but he have already done it over 400 times. Though I don't think that Joey Drew, nor any other characters in Bendy and Ink Machine did it. I think Audrey met him during his way back to Joey's home, erased his memories, and told him to start the ink machine. Maybe this isn't exactly how it happened, but he definitely got memory wiped. Because why else doesn't he remember anything, but he still has the seeing tool, which confirms that he has experienced chapter 5.
Look, I know where we have to go, but it's not going to be pleasant. The Ink Demon has something that we need. I'm going after him.
So, out of completely nowhere, Henry realizes that Bendy has something that they need, which is the end reel. And maybe he has guessed it because the glowing ink told him that, or maybe this and this is him getting back some of his memories. And that's maybe why he didn't remember Boris dying but he knows about the real, because he's getting some of his memories back from time to time, but not all of them. Remember when Allison had her little speech?
I've never seen this before. I don't see any way around. Nothing to build a raft with.
We'll have to wade across.
We can't. We're not like you, Henry. If we go in there, well, a drop of water in the ocean is rarely seen again.
It's kinda obvious that Alice can tell that Henry isn't like them just by looking at him. And that leaves us with the question, what is Henry? So the answer could be that he is a normal human, or maybe that he has the same powers as Audrey and can therefore resist the ink. Because as Alice Angel and Anderson Pendle puts it,
He crawled in here, trailing his tainted ink to my door. It could have touched me. It could have pulled me back.
Do you know what it's like, living in the dark puddles?
It's a buzzing, screaming well of voices.
Bits of your mind, swimming like fish in a bowl. You don't want to touch the ink for too long. It can claim you, pull you back.
so is the ink very strong and can pull you back, whatever that means.
It can claim you, pull you back.
It could have pulled me back.
And it's kinda clear that they can touch the ink according to Allison, and that's why they use the planks and boats to avoid it. So the theory that Henry could be the perfect Bendy, as others have speculated, is pretty distant right now. Remember this recording?
It's important to seize an opportunity before it slides through your wrenched fingers.
It must be Bendy. Yes, I know. Literally everyone thinks it is, and I must say, it's the perfect voice for him. You know when Bendy killed Norman Polk and spared Henry in chapter 4? And when the girl talks about choices in the Bendy and the Dark Revival title reveal.
One thing always remains. The choices you make.
Or when Joey talks about the different roads.
In the end, we followed two different roads of our own making.
It feels like the roads are meant to represent the choices, that they chose different and got different fates.
We followed two different roads of our own making. You, a lovely family. Me, a crooked empire. And my road burned.
So if we assume that it's Bendy on the recording, then note that he talks about opportunities.
It's important to seize an opportunity before it slides through your wrenched fingers. Such knowledge, such opportunity.
Maybe he has learned to choose and to change his actions, because he understood that it wasn't so efficient to just walk around in the studio and kill everything he sees. Because why else would he spare Henry and talk about opportunities? And if this is true, then it would explain why he talks about who probably is Audrey in the gameplay trailer.
A pretty girl like you shouldn't be wandering around all by yourself.
It's because he needs something from her, and is only sparing her temporarily until he gets what he wants. Maybe he wants to get out of the studio, or maybe he wants more power. Who knows? That was all the theories I had for today, so thank you for being with me for those 10 minutes and listen to my theories. And since you watched the whole video, you kinda owe me to press the like button at least. I'll also play some other stuff like The Escapist 2 and FNAF in the future, and we'll meet again in the next video.